So one of the things that happens all the time is there's this nasty 4-letter word that holds you back from getting to your goals. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about exactly what that is and what are some of the things that you can do to overcome this nasty little word. Coming up. Hey there, it's Billy with Keep On Cash Flow, and I'm back once again to share tips and strategies with you that are going to help you to go out and make more money. They're going to help you have more control over your free time and ultimately live with less stress. So if it's your first time, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel? And when you're watching through the video, if you find that the content is actually helping you, I'm going to ask you right up front that you go ahead and give it a like, as well as share it with your friends, because by you sharing it with your friends, it helps to bring more like-minded people to our community, and you are taking an active role in helping to build a wonderful community here at Keep On. So I want to thank you very much for taking those steps. But as for today, I want to get to the reason that you actually stopped here with the video, which is finding out more about that big thing that's holding you back, and more importantly, what to do about it, right? And so it made me think, actually, a lot too long ago, over the summer, I had a chance to go and do a little bit of fishing with my sons. Now, for most of you that have been watching, you know that I'm in a corporate job and I do lots and lots of hours. I spend a lot of time there. At the same time, I'm building my own company, and one of the reasons that I'm here is to share my experiences with you. And so, as a really busy father who is always looking to get quality time with my children, and struggles a lot of time because there's so many different things that are happening, probably similar to what you're going through, I was able to find this time to carve out and go with my kids. And so we went to go fishing over the weekend. And for those of you who know me, not the biggest fisherman in the world, so I was a little bit uncomfortable. But when we got to the campground, we basically stayed literally right near a river. Maybe we'll show us a couple pictures of that or something like that. It was really pretty awesome. But the thing is, there was a moment where the first night we got there, my boys, who are excellent swimmers, they've been swimming for quite a long time, they came into quite a moment of, let's call it trepidation, because they're excellent swimmers, and so you may have situations very similar. Well, my youngest son went to the kind of like the edge of the water, and when he looked into the water, because he was super excited, he wanted to get in, he wanted to swim, and he thought about doing that. But as he got to the water, he noticed that the waters were pretty murky, and there was like all this brown and green stuff at the top, which was like all this algae. And so I saw his face go from super excited to like really afraid and scared to move forward. And I was kind of asking him, well, what happened? And he looked at me and he said, well, you know, the waters are pretty nasty looking. They don't look very nice. And I really wanted to go swimming. I thought it was going to be this wonderful, like the swimming pool that he goes to all the time. And so I started to get ready to say something, but one of my good friends actually butted in and said, hey, listen, you know, I've actually gone and I've done this before. We come here every single summer. That's why you guys are here. Showed my youngest son the way to get into the water, kind of talked about, hey, listen, this is what's going to happen. You're going to jump in and all this stuff is going to go to the side and you're going to actually see really super clear water. But all this stuff just happens to be on the top when the algae is there, and it looks nasty because no one's there. But once you jump in, it starts to move away and it's no big deal. So, and when he saw that and he heard that, then he started playing it out in his head and he said, okay, listen, I'm going to jump into the water. He was nervous, and even though he was a really good swimmer, he thought, well, he's a little bit insecure. Finally got into the water, and when he jumped into the water, it was amazing what happened next, because then there were the other kids that got in the water with him. And so the fact that he broke through this nasty 4-letter word, which is fear, he was able to not only embraced what happened, but he was able to bring the other kids got in the water right after him, and they had a wonderful time, right? And so you're probably like, well, Billy, well, what does that have to do with anything that you normally talk about? Well, in the very same way that I talked about a really good friend of mine, Sally, not too long ago, who overcame her 4-letter word, which was fear. She broke through. She actually had this fear. She talked about not ever having traveled by herself, Then once she did, she left the US, she traveled by herself to Portugal and to Spain and visited people, and she'd rehearsed that and she thought about it. And then now she always has this story that she can continue to tell other people. And what I would say is, now that you know that this fear is what's holding you back, and whether that's going for the next job promotion, or whether it's starting your own business, or it's having your first child, or whatever the case may be, there's some really pretty simple steps that you go through to be able to break through the fear. And number one, you have to be able to embrace that fear, because fear is something that happens to all of us. I constantly am having different fears, but embrace that. I recognize that it's a fear, embrace it. Then once I embrace it, I really want to play through, or you look to play through and practice, rehearse things that you're not familiar with, because really it's being unfamiliar with something. Once you're able to rehearse and practice, then find people that have done what you're trying to do. There are very few things in this world that have not already been done. So if you can find the person that's already done that, have them talk to you about their experience, it's something that's also going to help you relativize, if you can say that, the experience that you're going to go through. So the really simple steps of breaking through fear are, number one, recognize and understand that it's fear. Number two, be able to go out and practice and rehearse what you've heard, and you're able to do that by being able to find people who have already done what you're looking to do. It's a really simple process. I faced this fear in the past, and one of the things there's a saying that when you think about fear, it's actually you want to face everything and rise, and which is one of the things, or you could forget everything and run. The choice is really up to you. And so I hope this has been really helpful. I know that I've talked about the fact that you may be in a corporate job just like me. You may be looking to do other things as well, because that's a dream, and maybe that fear has held you back. Well, if you want to find out how you can work in a multinational and at the same time you can build your own dream, being able to have more control of your free time, etc., something that I've done. I've written a book that you can pick up absolutely for free. All you need to do is go to keeponcashflow.com/roadmap, and I will spell out to you how I've used real estate and the results that real estate can provide by being able to live in Europe, invest in the US, and hopefully you can take some of the ideas from that as well, so that you can break through your fear and go after your dreams as well. So this is Billy Keels. Once again, we're Keep on Cash Flow. It's my 2 cents for today. And as always, hasta la próxima.